What's up, Savages? It is Wednesday. It's Hump Day, July 17th, 2019. Hope you guys are doing awesome. Thanks so much for everyone watching, liking, subscribing, and all that good stuff. You guys can see right there. I'm almost at 1,000. I can feel it. You guys are awesome, though. Thanks so much. It's much appreciated. We are back for another Random Coin Show. I ran a poll today between CCX, Conceal, Ryo, and Anonymous Bitcoin, or Anon, fully expecting Ryo to win because there was people bugging me about Ryo like for a long time now, and I really need to get on it and do another show. I did a video a while back on them, but it was way long ago. It was about 8 months ago, I think. So I do need to do an updated one for that. And I will eventually. I don't know why they didn't win the poll. Maybe the support for them is coming from out of range time zones or something. I don't know. It's probably a difference, like where their main support comes from might be different than what I posted. Because I did the poll a little late. It was like noon or something like that is whenever I started it. So that's probably why. But nonetheless, CCX won, Conceal.Network. So let's chat about it. So I have this list of the top 10 projects that I'm currently interested in, and it doesn't change very often, but CCX is actually on that list, so that's actually a good thing. I have done numerous videos on CCX, and full disclosure, I did receive a bounty at some point from, it was a few months ago, just for being a supporter of CCX, doing videos and things like that. It wasn't enough, it wasn't Lambo territory or nothing like that. I mean, I said it wasn't enough. It was enough. It wasn't much. It's not like, it wasn't that much. Don't worry. But just keep that in mind. But even before that, I was supporting the project. I think that it's a good project, CCX. So I just wanted to disclose that I did receive a bounty at some point. It's been a while back, but there you go. But I have this list, and I have 10 currently on the list. There's Aon. I'm going to read my little list over here because I can never remember them all. Aon, Swap, XWP, Zellcash, CCX, Raven, Veil, Loki, Nimic, eGem, and Bitcash. Those are basically my top 10 on my proof of work, like mining type top 10. Probably should have some changes in there based on recent things going on, but right now those are the only ones I'm going to focus on. I mean, I might do a Ryo video. I probably will at some point, maybe even tomorrow. It just depends. So we'll see how that goes. So yeah, I just keep covering things that that I'm interested in, and those are actually the top 10 right now. But before we get into CCX too much, let's go and look at the market. Do a little refresh here. Let me get that up here. Do a little refresh here and see what's going on. All right, so we're at a 97.96 Bitcoin. Looks like we're at $266 billion market cap, 82 billion volume. Not terrible. I want to say that we were up to 67% BTC dominance at the most recent high, so it's pulling back a little bit. Probably why you're seeing some of the alts pump a little bit, and that's probably a good thing for us. I mean, overall, it's not bad for the overall market, so that's good. Let's see. Let's take a look at the top 10 real quick. Aon. They're up 15%, but they've been getting crushed. Down to 8 cents. XWP, they've been doing really well. 22%. Yeah, they started off. They've gone up a lot just recently. I mean, look, they were down at the beginning of the month. They were at 10 cents or so, I guess. So yeah, huge. Good for them. Let's see, Zelle Cash. Oh wow, they're doing really well today. That's good to see. CCX up a little bit. I like seeing that. They've been getting crushed too though. You see they're at probably near all-time lows. Raven up a little bit. They've been getting crushed too. They're at 4 cents. Veil up a lot, 31%. That's good to see. And they're pretty long ways off from all-time highs too, so I don't know. I'm not a chart analysis guy, but I think that this is kind of a good looking chart. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks alright. Loki up just a tad, still hanging around the 15-16 cent mark. Mimic down a little bit. And they're not even a micro cap. It's kind of funny. They're up there. All right, eGem up just a tad, and then BitCash doing well. Okay, that's good to see. All right, so there is the top 10 run through there. Let's take a look at what to mine real quick. And over here, let's look at, I mean, we can go real quick just to look at CCX because we're going to be mining that tonight. Just so we can get a little bit of info about it. I'll leave this up, or I'll come back to it because we'll want to, look at our profits based on whatever hash rate we're getting and stuff like that. So we'll take a look at that later. But if we go over here to what to mine, and if we're looking at the AMD GPUs, and we have, I want to say you have to have trade over and stacks. It's either, I can't remember which one it is. We can go over here to find out. But you have to have selected that exchange for it to show up. Yes, trade over, Stacks, and GraviX. So you got to have one of those, at least one of those in your list here. Or else whenever you do calculate, CCX won't show up, right? Because they're not in an exchange that you have listed. So you have to come in here and click on a blank area here, choose GraviX. GraviX is one that CCX is on, so you can scroll down here and it should pop up here. Maybe. Yeah, there it is. What am I on? That's kind of crazy that it would be that low. I thought it would be much more, but I'm on, yeah, 8 AMD RX 580s. I don't know. Let's see if another exchange actually gives it something different. I thought it was a little higher than that. So I'm going to add those two back in there and do a calculate again. Yeah, see, it puts it higher. So those exchanges must not match as far as the value goes, because it looks like now it's pulling this information from TradeOver, which might have, a better value on it for Conceal. So it's kind of neat that we kind of discovered that. So if you take TradeOver out and do a calculate again, see what we come up with. Okay, it dropped a little bit. See, it's getting the information from Stacks. Satoshi value there. So yeah, interesting. So TradeOver has clearly a higher valuation, it looks like. Okay. Yeah, 988. I think the other one was 7 something. So a little bit of a difference there. Not a big deal. It's the way exchanges work. So also, let's take a look at what I am mining. I'm not interacting with the chat at all because we got a lot to cover, so I'm just going to let you guys chat over there. I'm going to keep pressing on with the show. So let's take a look at what I'm mining. I am mining on the Kessel and the Scarif rig here at the house. I'm mining Arrow, which is a brand new privacy coin. If you want to see videos on that, I have several here on my channel. So if you're wondering about what this arrow hype is all about, you can go over there and check those out. So that's what I'm mining now on these two personally owned rigs. On the co-owned rigs, I am actually mining CCX, and we have been for many months, probably 5 or 6 months now, I would imagine. So these are co-owned. I don't own them outright. They're shared. So the way that we do this, the way that I do it is, I pay for the electricity, obviously, but the cost of the electricity comes out of whatever coins we mine. So based on the percentage of ownership of each rig and each GPU, then the profits get distributed. But the way that we've been doing it is we've kind of been holding them and not really distributing any other than to pay me for the electric. And so that's basically the whole setup right now. In the future, I hope to maybe start using the Conceal.Network with messaging and voting and all that stuff to actually manage this part of it, because I think those features will be kind of cool. A use case scenario that I came up with was GPU hosting. So I hope to use that in the future. It'll be a little bit more automated that way, because right now it's kind of at least whenever I was having to convert everything to BTC or Litecoin, well, actually it was BTC that I was converting into, it was kind of a headache each month to have to do that. And the way we do it is we basically vote. All the members or all the owners vote each month, put in their 2 cents, 2 Satoshis for what we're going to point the rigs at that month. And like I was saying, we've been on Conceal for quite some time, so we're happy with that. And maybe I'll show you a little bit more about how that works as far as paying for the electric and all that stuff, because I keep track with I've got smart outlets, and I keep track of how much electricity the rigs use and all that stuff. So just work it out mathematically and send over from the co-owned wallet, CCX wallet, to the SavageMine wallet, and based on the current value of CCX. So it's kind of a headache to do it every month. I would like a little bit more automated, but it is what it is at this point. So I'm just rambling, but let's get off of this. All right, so tonight we are going to take a look at Conceal. It's one of my favorite projects. You guys hear me talk about it a lot. I dig it. I like it. I like the community. I like the developers and all that stuff. So this is their website. They've done a pretty good job with their website. I like it. It's pretty smooth. So let's talk about what Conceal is a little bit. If you're not too familiar with it, I will go through a little bit of the details here. It is an open source, community-driven, simple, this is the way I like to explain it or describe it. It's an open source, community-driven, simple to use, decentralized bank that also has private transactions and end-to-end encrypted, self-destructive messaging systems. So that is, in a nutshell, what Conceal is. I look at it as a online bank. I mean, it's basically your online bank, and which a lot of cryptocurrencies are, but this one has specific features that are similar to a bank, and we'll get into that in a moment. I do like this one little phrase right here. They're talking about how the sender and the receiver are kept anonymous, and it says a key concern in a post-Snowden world. I like that. Just proves where they're coming from with the privacy and things like that. I like it. It also uses the Cryptonote protocol for transactions and Cryptonite-Conceal for proof of work mining, which they earlier this year they went to Cryptonite-Conceal. So they have basically their own version of Cryptonite. So that's kind of neat. On the privacy side, it uses ring signatures and one-time addresses. The sender and receiver remain anonymous at all times, right? In the future, they're going to be increasing scalability, possibly by using a modular sidechain, which is kind of neat, neat feature that will be coming up. some things that they have in works. Either they're going to be implementing it or enhancing something that's already out there. They have Conceal Pay, which is a feature of Conceal Cloud, and I'll show you that whenever we get over to the wallets and stuff. Conceal Pay is a feature of Conceal Cloud, and it provides basically 2 additional ways to accept Conceal as payment. They also have Conceal ID that they're working on, which is, right now, you know how it's complicated for end users to look at an address. It confuses them right away whenever they see like a really long hexadecimal address, and it's like, why is this so complicated whenever it's really not. Those folks don't remember what their bank account number is either. But for whatever reason, they look at that and they're like, yep, nope, I'm out. I'm not going to do anything with this because it's too complicated. It seems, at first glance, an address seems unnecessarily complex, right, to a normal end user. So what they're going to do, I believe this is what Conceal ID is going to help with. They're going to give you basically a username type. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, if there's any devs or anything like that in here, but I believe that that's what that is about. I tried to look it up right before the stream, and I couldn't find it on the website. I know it's there somewhere, but I just couldn't find it. They also are working on Conceal Nodes and Conceal Guardian, where you can run a remote node, and the Guardian is actually is a service that monitors the node to make sure that it stays up and functional. And they're also working on Conceal Mobile, which is a mobile wallet, right? And right here we've got their wallets. They do a really great job with consistency with the user interface and stuff between all of their different wallets. So let's go ahead and look at, if you click on desktop here, which I'm on a desktop, I'm on a Windows 10 desktop here. It'll take you out to their GitHub, and the latest version, we got to remember this because whenever I launch the wallet, I want to check. It is 5.3.5. It looks like they made some bug fixes and reworked some stuff. So we're going to have to probably upgrade the wallet too during the stream. So we'll get to that in a moment. I'll leave that up. They got a command line interface wallet also. And then they also have the Conceal.Cloud, which is really cool. It's a web wallet. And it looks like this. Now obviously you have to log into it. I'm already logged in. That's why it just opened right up with no problem. But if you, I don't really want to sign out. Let's see, trying to remember if I remember all my info. But I have 2-factor authentication enabled, so I'd have to go grab my phone and do that as well. So I don't want to do that. But just know that the interface is really cool. It's the same as the desktop pretty much, except for, as I was talking about earlier, they do have Conceal Pay, and Conceal Pay is just another way of receiving a request. Like, for example, if you wanted to receive a payment in CCX, you could put in an address here, an actual receiving address, and I believe it has to be valid. I believe that you can't just type whatever you want in there and have it work. It actually goes out and checks to see if it's valid, like that, and that one is valid. That's mine. And so you could do something like that, and then you would provide this to the entity that you want to receive a payment from, right? Or you could, I think you can put this on your website as a button, right? So you can use these in like chats and forums and things like that. This one you can use on web pages. So kind of neat. You also have instant payment notification. This is a little bit more advanced. It goes through the process of, I think it's got to do with shopping carts and e-commerce software and things like that, so that you can actually set it up to receive CCX there as well. There is more information, lots more information on how to set this up on their website. And let's see here, what else we got? Some settings. It's got address book, which is nice. I'm going to go to Blockchain Explorer. I'm going to open that up. Mining Pool, open that up as well. Community, they've got a lot of support. Discord is obviously always the go-to support, but they do have Telegram and Twitter and everything else. So that is Conceal Cloud, their web-based wallet. let me go ahead and launch. Let's see here. I'm gonna launch the Conceal wallet. I had set up a wallet just for YouTube, so that it's only got like, I think I sent 5 CCX to it or something like that. So that's all it's got in there. So it looks like this, and it looks familiar, right? Because the web page is similar, right? Or the web wallet, or Conceal.Cloud. Very similar. So yeah, this is the YouTube wallet that I set up. And let's see, what were we going to do? Oh, we were going to check the version. The version that I have is 5.3.0. I think I remember that the latest wallet, let's come back over here. Oh yeah, was 5.3.5, so we need to upgrade that. I don't know if it doesn't look like there's too much of a difference in user interface, but let's go ahead and do it anyway, just as a bonus feature here of the show. So we're going to click on, in my case I'm using Windows, so I'm going to click on CCX Desktop Win64. I'm going to throw it in my downloads folder. And if I remember right, this is not like a normal Qt type wallet, right? There's not just files that you extract. I think this actually has a setup. So if I go into the zip file, yeah, it's got a CCX setup in there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over to, let's go to wallets, let's go to CCX. Trying to remember what all's in here. Okay, so here's the wallet. All right, here's my wallets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all this right here. I'll leave that alone. Copy that. And I'm going to put it in backups. I'm going to make a new backup folder just so I have the files that are in the wallet currently before we do any messing around with it. It's not too much data, so it's not that much storage taken up. Probably don't need all this, but you know, hey, just in case. Alright, so now let's go back to downloads, go to CCX Desktop Win. Oh, we need to extract it. So I'm just going to right click on it, choose extract. Just going to bring up the browse window here. So I'm going to go out here, go to wallets. And this is, you know, obviously platform dependent, depending on what you're using and where you keep your wallets and stuff. So that is the right folder. I'm going to select folder and then extract. And actually, this is just the, oh no, yeah, this was, what was it? Yeah, it was a setup, right? All I did was extract it. Okay. So here's the file that I extracted. All this stuff is from the previous one. And actually, that was kind of silly. I could have put that anywhere because this is just the setup. So could have just extracted it right there in the downloads folder. I was so used to extracting to the location of you know, my wallet. Not a big deal. So I'm going to choose run as administrator for the CCX setup, which is what we extracted. Don't get confused by all this other stuff that's in here. This is the only file that we're worried about right now. So we clicked on more info and then run anyway. I might lose you for a second here. Alright, we should be good, right? Maybe. Alright, so this is what comes up. So we click next. So it does know, it probably pulls it from the registry maybe that this is the location of the wallet. So we'll go next, because that is the right location. And then install. Oh, gotta close it. Retry. Should be good. Finish. And then we're going to go over to our wallet location. We're going to check. Okay, so it looks like that was modified on 6/11. We should have checked. You know what we can do? Let's go over here. Back up. I'm going to check the, yeah, this one was 4/24 of 2019. This is the actual wallet executable right here, the GUI wallet. So 4/24/2019 was the previous one. The current one is 6/11. So I'm confident. I mean, you can also look at the file size. So 4224, 4294. So this one's actually bigger, and that's fine. So it looks like they made some enhancements there. So I'm going to run this. I'm pretty confident that this is the new one and we're good. So I'm going to execute that, and I can't really show you what's going on because it's on my other screen. Alright, so there we go. So now we are back up and running with the new wallet, and it's version 5.3.5. So that's awesome. So that's just a little bit of bonus content there. Not anything that we have to worry about too much, but you know, we did go through the process of updating our wallet, so that's kind of neat. I wasn't really planning on doing that. So this is what the wallet looks like as I was showing, and you can see that there's this banking feature here. I do want to cover this real quick, and this is what I was talking about, how it's basically an online bank. You've got deposits, and you can deposit as low as 1 CCX, which is what, 16 cents right now, right? As far as USD value goes. I think you can do, I don't think there's a limit on the maximum, but you know, you could do all of them, right? So you can put that in a bank and then draw interest, right? So if it goes up to 52 weeks, and you can see right here how everything changes as far as, let me zoom up on this a little bit. So as you increase the number of weeks, you know, you start gaining more and more interest, and this is the number of CCX that you're going to get, you know, at the end of this period, whatever you're choosing up here, up to 52 weeks. So that's kind of neat little feature that they have. And this wallet doesn't have any locked up at all. I do have some locked up in other wallets, so maybe I'll show you that. You also have the investment feature. The investment feature is a minimum of 50,000 CCX, so it's not for everybody. It's definitely not for me. I don't have that much. Yeah, minimum of 50,000, and you can go up to 5 years, right? And you can see over here, that's a huge amount of more coins that you get, you know, in interest. It's 36% interest basically over 5 years, right, of the 50,000 that you put in there. So it's kind of neat. Just keep that in mind, that that's what one of the main features of Conceal, Conceal.Network. And then you also have messaging. So you can see right here that I sent 5, well, you can't really tell that from here, but I also sent a message along with my transfer or my transaction from my other wallet to this wallet. And I just included a message for YouTube stream. And this is all encrypted and everything. I believe that, I don't know if maybe this is not enabled because I don't have enough in here or what, but I can't reply to it. I thought maybe that's something that they're working on in the future. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, kind of neat, you know, streaming now, or I'm sorry, messaging. So you might be wondering, like, okay, so what's the big deal about that? Well, it's all encrypted, so you could use this for some pretty private data, right? So you could use the messages in here for, let's say you wanted to store private keys for other cryptos. You know, you could do things, or the seed words and things like